I do kind of, McKinnon's been on this podcast before, twice. Did you see what happened last night?
I saw the hit on McCarr this morning, but I didn't see the rest of it.
You didn't see the rest of it? So who hit him? Okposo?
Okposo.
Okposo?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I don't know, it's one of those chintzy, it's not from behind, but it's that little tap on the, what do you call that? The tongue of the pant?
Yeah, like the lip.
The
waistband.
The waistband, but it's almost above it, like the spine protector.
The OV piece.
Yeah, the OV piece, exactly. It was like one of those little things, and it's such an unnecessary play, I think. You don't need to be doing that. McCarr goes in. Apparently, McCarr's fine. He had a post-game interview. He's like, I'm going to be all right. I'm a little shooken up. It's a scary thing because going, I don't know, how fast? 70, 60 miles? How fast are hockey players going?
Fast, especially McCarr.
Okay, so, you're going fast and going into the boards with no edge. It's a little scary. It happened to me. Shoulder out, I'm just saying. Oh. Whole thing, awful. What I liked about the whole thing, McKinnon getting kicked out. Guy cares.
Why did he get kicked out?
Yapping at the ref. Because I don't think Okposo got a penalty.
No, I don't think he did either.
Didn't get a penalty.
Not at all.
So, me and Jeff talked about this the other day, how to sell the game of hockey. Heart. Mm-hmm. You got to wear your heart on your sleeve. You have to show emotion. You got to care. I'm not saying McKinnon getting kicked out of the game is the way to sell the game. At the end of the day, McCarr was gone and McKinnon were gone in one play. Well, I think the game was in Buffalo, so you got to think about it. If you're paying to go to a Buffalo Sabres game to see McKinnon and McCarr, you're paying what? 100 to 120, around $120. You're not happy that those two guys are getting kicked out. So not great for the Buffalo Sabres fan base. But McKinnon getting kicked out, not surprised. The guy cares. If one of you guys got hit from behind out doing one of our streams, I would lose it on whoever did it to you. Lose it. I'm not saying I'm following McKinnon's footsteps, but I'm saying McKinnon has that same mentality going into a game that I wake up with every single day, that he cares about the people he's playing with and that he gives a fuck. And he's willing to get kicked out and let the ref know. Because, he said it himself. McCarr's going to go down as one of the best defensemen of all time. So, really great to see. He cares. It's early in the season too, which I even like more about it. You usually see that stuff after Christmas, but what are they, 12 games in right now? And he just cares. The guy just cares. I know he cares about, I don't know how Drouin's playing right now, but I know he cares about that whole Drouin story and how he's trying to revive his career. I don't know if that's working out or not, but the guy just cares, bottom line. And I just love to see that because like what we said the other day, Jeff, you need a little heart.
Sell the game.
You need a little, I hate to use that word controversy, but you need a guy to care. I didn't see a post-game press conference from McKinnon, though.
Probably didn't want to do one.
Well, I don't blame him. Well, that kind of goes back to the whole mentality of, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe other sports, they do want to talk about it.
Yep.
Because they want to get those Twitter mentions. They want to get those.
Yeah.
Because they understand that, they can get maybe a head and shoulders deal if they blow up on social, something like that.
Troy
But Nate,
Polamalu.
what is Nate? Nate's getting 12.5 a year plus his CCM plus Tim Hortons plus. He's not worried about the money. He's just he wants to win. But that's the whole debate. That was a storyline. I think, tomorrow people will completely forget about it, but not me. I loved every single second about it. But that would have been a great storyline to build on if ESPN really covers hockey. If they covered it a little bit more. If Stephen A. Smith was a hockey expert, he'd wake up in the morning
licking his chops.
Just Okposo, that's a 5-year sentence. Jail
time.
But that's exactly what I mean. That's feeding the beast. And then you have people going to work 9 to 5, water cooler talk. What are they talking about? Okposo needs to be in jail for 5 years. Because Stephen A. said
Attempted
it.
Murder.
But you wake up this morning, you get a little Sportsnet, you get a little McCarr, I'm okay, I'll be fine. That's the world we live in. If this is a different sport, McCarr's he's upset. He wants restitution.
Yeah.
He wants. Did I kill that?
Yeah.
Did I?
So yeah, I think so.
Is that right?
Restitution.
Anyway, sorry. That was just if I think
Redemption?
you're right, but yeah.
Payback.
Yeah. A bunch of words. Anyways,
I'll leave it at that. But that's how I feel about that whole scenario. Is that it could have been more. I'm not saying it should have been. As a hockey fan, I couldn't care less. I just love what McKinnon did. But I'm talking in terms of everyone on the internet saying we need to sell hockey, we need to sell this, we need to sell that, we need to make it a bigger game. There's just another perfect example of why it's not the most popular thing moving forward in America. That's just another example. That's how I feel about it. Dudes, how do you feel about it?
Well, two things for me. The first thing, I'll go right back to the beginning, is the push on the pants. You know, playing at the NHL, especially Okposo, he's a vet. He's played hundreds and hundreds of games. You know that at that speed, that little nudge from behind is going to send a player spiraling. That's just how it is. In that danger zone, which is that 2, 3, 4 feet from the wall, a little bit of that bump at their speed is going to send you, I don't care how good of a skater you are, Bobby Orr, you're going off balance a little bit, right? So I didn't really like the hit. I understand how those hits do happen in a sport that fast. That's all I'll say about that, because I'm a greaseball on the ice anyways. But the big thing about selling the game for me is, I get what you're saying, but I think there is a part of the whole thing that will sell the game, and that's the teammate aspect, the give a fuck factor from McKinnon early on in the season. That will help sell the game, especially to like some of the older heads that are all about that team mentality and paying for your mistakes. And if you do this to my player, you have to face, the tough guy or whatever. So I think that part of the whole teammate sticking together, Nate's the best player on the ice, gets kicked out, doesn't care, sends a message. He gives a shit about his teammates. That's what people want to see. Some people, controversy obviously sells, like we always say. We all know that. But I think him being that leader and showing off that side of him, the non-superstar side of him, will help sell it a little bit, especially in peoples that may not want to stay up and watch Colorado. Maybe they will now because they see a little bit of that edge, right? A little bit of that old school hockey vibe.
You got to care. You got to wake up every day and care. But you look like you want to say something.
No. I mean, I just don't know how much of a talking point it is.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean? Yeah,
but
I
all
agree
these
with
things
you.
that are happening in other sports aren't talking points either. What was it? Something that happened the other day in football. I forget what it was. It was something that just the most irrelevant thing that happened in football, but it made national news.
Yeah.
Swift, probably.
Yeah, like that's a perfect example.
handshake or
that's
whatever.
a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a talking point. I'm agreeing, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, in order to sell this thing that we call hockey,
It should be.
It should be.
I agree. I agree with you.
Especially if you want to get the eyes off the culture for a little bit, start talking about some other stuff, the inner parts of the game,
That's like a good part of the culture, what you see there.
That's
like
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The selling, because you don't,
That's part of the heart of hockey.
the bad culture doesn't really sell as good to the average
No.
fan, but the good stuff will, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still some people that are like old school guys and they're like, wow, the culture's defined and blah blah blah. Like I
Yeah.
played the game all my life, that kind of stuff. So that does sell a little bit, but it's the teammate stuff. It's the inner workings of a team, and they want to see that side of the players that just aren't robots. Like answer the questions like this. Like
Well, yeah.
it's,
Well, speaking of McKinnon, the most famous one was when Fournier went off. Remember, he fought, he defended McKinnon in Halifax. Fournier went off. The entire Metro Center going nuts. He hugs him at the door with his helmet off, heads off. Like that was a classic Halifax Mooseheads moment. Everyone remembers that. So it's like, you're right. There's moments like that. It's just about finding them and hoping that they, maybe that side of the culture was seen a little more. But
And that sticks with him, with a guy like McKinnon, right? Don't think that didn't have a little bit of a factor in the way he was brought up through hockey for that scenario there last night. Yeah, he didn't fight, but he made sure that everybody knew that was wrong and he wasn't going to stand for it. And that's the point.
Best defenseman in the world.
From the AJHL.
Oh my God! From the
AJ.
Who did we draft from the AJHL? But and another thing that it's McKinnon stood up for him, but it's kind of sad McKinnon stood up for him.
Like, where's the other guys?
Yeah, I'm not saying Okposo's a little greaseball. He's not. He's a skilled, respected player in the league. I'm sure he gave Makar a nice call the next morning. But this kind of just goes back to the whole culture thing of hockey. 10 years ago, there's a fight, there's a
Right
brawl,
away.
There's something that's happening right away. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.